Welcome to the story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support me. The sky above Earth was unusually still that night, a calm blanket of stars stretching endlessly over the horizon. Beneath it, humanity slept in a near-perfect state of ignorance. No one, not even the most advanced scientists or military strategists, had any inkling that the first wave of an alien invasion had already begun. Anna Keller, a scientist whose groundbreaking work on neural connectivity was known to only a select few, sat in her small, dimly lit office, staring at her computer screen. She sipped her lukewarm coffee absent-mindedly, her mind wandering to the many possibilities her latest research could unlock for humanity. She'd spent years developing a technology that could link human consciousness on a deep, subconscious level, creating a unified mind that could connect thoughts, emotions, and memories across vast distances. Yet as Anna stared at her screen, a flicker of doubt crossed her mind. Was the world ready for such a leap forward? Could humanity handle the burden of truly sharing every thought, every emotion, with billions of others? Before she could contemplate further, a sharp, electronic buzz interrupted her thoughts. She glanced at her communication panel, a frown furrowing her brow. It wasn't unusual for her to receive late-night messages, but the urgency of this one was palpable. The message was simple: something is wrong with the global mental network. We need your help. Her fingers flew across the keyboard as she responded. Minutes later, she was patched into a secure conference call with government officials, military leaders, and scientists from around the globe. Their faces appeared on the screen, tense and pale, as they explained the situation. We've detected strange activity in the global network, one of the officials began. People are reporting nightmares, erratic behavior, and in some cases, a complete loss of autonomy. It's as if something is infiltrating their minds. Anna leaned forward in her chair, her heart pounding. Infiltrating? Are we talking about some kind of cyber attack? The head of the Global Security Task Force shook his head grimly. No. It's not a virus or a hack. It's something else. Another scientist, Dr. Lian Zhou, spoke up. We've analyzed the patterns of the mental disruptions. It's unlike anything we've ever seen. There's a telepathic element to it. Some kind of external force is manipulating the mental network. Anna felt a cold wave of realization wash over her. You're saying it's not human? There was a long, tense silence on the call. Then, the security chief nodded. Yes. We believe we're under attack by an alien civilization. They're using some form of telepathy to control human minds. Anna's breath caught in her throat. For years, scientists had speculated about the existence of extraterrestrial life, but to think that such beings could directly assault human consciousness, it was terrifying. But what truly chilled her was the thought that humanity, for all its technological advancements, might not have the mental strength to resist. We need a solution, and we need it fast, the security chief continued. We've been tracking the source of the telepathic influence. It's coming from beyond the solar system. The aliens are preparing for a full-scale invasion, and if they can control our leaders, our military, they won't need to fire a single shot. Anna's mind raced. There may be a way to fight back, she said slowly. But it's risky. All eyes turned to her. What do you propose? The security chief asked. Anna took a deep breath. I've been working on a project, a way to link human consciousness into a collective network. If we can unite our minds, we might be able to amplify our mental strength enough to resist their telepathic control. The room was silent for a moment. Then, one of the military leaders spoke. You're talking about connecting billions of people into one mind. That's unprecedented. I know, Anna said. But it may be our only chance. Right now, we're scattered, vulnerable. But together, we could become something stronger, something the aliens can't break. There were murmurs of skepticism, but the gravity of the situation weighed heavily on everyone. How quickly can you make this happen? The security chief asked. Anna hesitated. I've been testing the system on a small scale, but to roll it out globally, it will take time, and it will require volunteers. People will need to consent to link their minds. There's no time for consent, one of the officials snapped. If we don't act now, the aliens will control us all. Anna's stomach turned. The ethical dilemma weighed heavily on her. Could she justify merging billions of minds without their permission? Could humanity survive such a radical transformation? But as she looked at the faces on the screen, the answer became clear. They had no choice. I'll need access to the global network infrastructure, Anna said. And I'll need a team of technicians to help me deploy the system. You'll have everything you need, the security chief replied. Do it. The next few days were a blur of frantic activity. Governments worldwide declared states of emergency, martial law was enacted, and people were warned of the alien threat. Yet, even as the invasion loomed, most of the population remained unaware of the full extent of the danger. The mind control was subtle at first, only a few high-profile cases of sudden, unexplained behavior shifts in key political and military figures, but then, the dream started. All across the world, people began reporting the same disturbing visions, vast, black voids filled with an oppressive presence, a suffocating darkness that seemed to creep into their very souls. And as the days passed, the dreams grew worse, more vivid, until they were no longer confined to sleep. People began hearing whispers, seeing shadows flicker at the edges of their vision, feeling an overwhelming sense of dread that they couldn't shake. Anna worked tirelessly with her team, her mind singularly focused on preparing the collective consciousness network. She barely slept, sustained only by adrenaline and a fierce determination to protect humanity. But deep down, she knew the risks. She knew that once the system was activated, there would be no going back. On the eve of the network's activation, Anna stood alone in the control room, her hands shaking as she stared at the massive array of servers and neural interface equipment before her. The room hummed with the sound of electricity, a low, constant thrum that mirrored the tension in her chest. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. Then, with a steady hand, she activated the system. The effect was immediate. Across the globe, billions of people suddenly felt a strange, tingling sensation in their minds, as if an invisible thread had connected them to something far larger than themselves. At first, it was disorienting, thoughts, emotions, memories, all flooding in from countless other minds. But then, as the collective consciousness began to stabilize, the confusion gave way to something else. A sense of unity. Of connection. Of overwhelming power. Anna's breath caught in her throat as she felt it too, the vast, infinite expanse of human consciousness, stretching out like a galactic web, each individual mind a star in the endless void. It was beautiful, breathtaking, and terrifying all at once. And then, the alien struck. The Zulka, sensing the shift in humanity's mental defenses, launched a full-scale telepathic assault, their minds crashing against the newly formed galactic mind like a tidal wave. For a moment, it felt as though the weight of the alien consciousness would crush them, drown them in a sea of darkness. But then, something incredible happened. The galactic mind pushed back, like a living entity. The collective consciousness of humanity rose up, meeting the Zulka head-on. The battle that unfolded wasn't fought with weapons or soldiers, but with thoughts, emotions, and sheer willpower. In the vast mental realm, the Zulka's cold, calculating minds clashed with the raw, untapped potential of human imagination and creativity. The Zulka, for all their telepathic prowess, couldn't comprehend the depth of human emotion, the power of love, of hope, of resilience. They were beings of logic and control, but humanity was something more. Something chaotic, unpredictable, and infinitely powerful. As the battle raged on, the galactic mind grew stronger, drawing on the collective strength of billions of human souls. Memories of past struggles, triumphs, and sacrifices surged through the network, fueling the fight against the invaders. Anna, at the center of it all, felt the power of the human spirit coursing through her, guiding her, as if she were the heart of the galaxy itself. The Zulka, unable to withstand the onslaught of human will, began to falter. Their telepathic influence wavered, then crumbled, as the galactic mind overwhelmed them with a force they had never encountered before, and just like that, the invasion was over. The aliens withdrew, their mental hold on humanity shattered. The skies above Earth were once again quiet, the stars twinkling peacefully in the night. But the world would never be the same. In the days that followed, humanity slowly returned to normal. The galactic mind unraveled, releasing each individual consciousness back into its own mind. People awoke from the experience with a profound sense of awe and wonder, as though they had glimpsed something far greater than themselves. Anna sat in her office, exhausted but triumphant. The invasion had been repelled, and humanity had survived. But as she stared out the window at the clear blue sky, she couldn't help but wonder what the future held. For in those brief moments of unity, humanity had tapped into something extraordinary, something limitless. The galactic mind had shown them the true potential of the human spirit, a power that could transcend the physical and unlock the mysteries of the universe itself. And Anna knew, deep in her heart, that this was only the beginning. The days that followed the retreat of the Zulka were eerily calm, as if the world had collectively exhaled after holding its breath for far too long. There was no sense of victory in the air, no grand celebrations. The world had survived, but survival came with a deep, unsettling realization that humanity had only scratched the surface of its potential. Anna sat in her lab, watching the live feeds from across the globe. The reports were all the same, people slowly adjusting to life after the invasion, to the strange, haunting memories of being part of the galactic mind. In the news, commentators speculated about the long-term effects of the experiment. Would people go back to normal? Could they? The shared experience had been so vast, so profound, that it seemed impossible to believe the world could simply return to the way it had been. She closed her eyes for a moment, remembering how it had felt to be at the center of that immense mental network. It was as if her own consciousness had expanded, stretching out to touch the thoughts, dreams, and fears of billions of others. She had felt every emotion in the spectrum, from the most crushing despair to the most euphoric joy, all at once. And now, being back in her own singular mind, she felt small. Isolated, the soft ping of an incoming message broke her reverie. It was Dr. Lien Zhou, her colleague and closest confidant throughout the crisis. The message was brief, but it made her pulse quicken. "You need to see this." Anna immediately opened the attachment. It was a recording from one of the world's most advanced observatories, aimed at a distant star system. The footage was grainy, but the implications were clear. A massive, unfamiliar structure, a ship, no doubt, was moving through space at an alarming speed. Its trajectory? Earth. Anna felt the weight of dread settle in her chest once more. "It's not over," she whispered to herself, pushing back from her desk and pacing across the room. "We may have defeated their mental attack, but they're coming. This time, physically." The Zulka were relentless. They had failed to control humanity through telepathy, but that didn't mean they would stop trying to dominate. If anything, their defeat would only fuel their desire to conquer Earth through force, and this time, the odds seemed even more stacked against them. She immediately contacted the Global Task Force, her voice calm but urgent as she laid out the new threat. "We need to prepare for a physical invasion," she said, her eyes fixed on the image of the incoming vessel. "We don't have much time." The response was immediate. Governments around the world mobilized their militaries, building defenses, readying fleets. But Anna knew that brute force wouldn't be enough. The Zulka had technology far beyond anything Earth had. Their physical weapons would be as formidable as their telepathic powers had been. There had to be another way. Something beyond weapons, beyond technology. That was when it hit her, the galactic mind. It had been a temporary defense mechanism, born out of desperation. But what if it could be more than that? What if it wasn't just a shield against telepathic invasion, but the key to unlocking a new form of power, one that could challenge even the most advanced alien civilizations? She wasted no time. Gathering her team, Anna explained her theory. "We've already proven that by linking our minds, we can tap into something far greater than individual consciousness. But I believe we can go further. If we can refine the technology, expand the network beyond its initial design, we could create a collective force that's not just mental, but physical. We could use the power of the galactic mind to generate energy, weapons, anything we need to defend Earth." Her team looked at her with a mixture of awe and trepidation. "You're talking about turning human consciousness into a weapon," one of the engineers said slowly. "That's unprecedented." Anna nodded. "Yes. But we've already crossed unprecedented boundaries. We've seen what's possible when we unite our minds. Now, we just need to push that boundary even further." The work began immediately. Days blurred into nights as Anna and her team worked tirelessly to develop the next phase of the galactic mind. They adapted the neural interface technology, expanding its capabilities, refining the process so that not only could minds be linked, but energy could be channeled through the collective consciousness. It was risky, untested, but they had no choice. The alien ship was drawing closer by the hour, and soon, Earth would face a battle unlike any it had ever seen. The night before the invasion, Anna stood in the control room, the weight of her decision pressing heavily on her shoulders. The system was ready, or as ready as it would ever be. The moment the alien forces made their move, the galactic mind would be activated again, this time with a far more dangerous purpose. She thought about the billions of people who would unknowingly become part of this new experiment. Last time, it had been about survival. This time, it was about something more, a transformation of humanity into a force capable of standing against an advanced alien race. She wondered, briefly, if there would be a cost. If this new power would change humanity in ways they couldn't yet understand, but there was no time for doubt. The Zulka ship had entered the solar system. The invasion began at dawn. The first sign of the attack was a deep, unsettling hum that reverberated across the planet, shaking buildings, causing power grids to flicker. Then came the sky itself. The atmosphere seemed to ripple, distorting light and sound as the Zulka ship descended, enormous and otherworldly, casting a shadow over entire cities. Earth's defenses mobilized, fighter jets scrambling, missile systems locking onto targets. But the Zulka's technology was far beyond anything humanity had ever encountered. Their ship was impervious to missiles, their shields deflecting every attack as though it were nothing more than a mild inconvenience. Anna watched from the control room, her heart pounding in her chest. "Activate the network," she ordered. In an instant, the switch was flipped. All across the globe, people once again felt the strange sensation of their minds being linked, of becoming part of something larger. This time, however, there was no confusion, no disorientation. The process had been refined, perfected. The galactic mind was stronger, more cohesive than before, and then, something extraordinary happened. The energy generated by the collective consciousness began to manifest physically. All over the world, massive surges of power erupted from the ground, from the skies, from the very air itself. The galactic mind had become a conduit for the raw, untapped energy of the human spirit, turning thoughts, emotions, and willpower into tangible force. The Zulka were unprepared for this. Their ship, which had seemed invincible moments before, now found itself under attack, not from weapons, but from a force that defied all logic. The energy of the galactic mind ripped through their shields, tearing apart their advanced technology with a power they couldn't comprehend. Anna felt it too, the immense surge of energy flowing through her, through every human on Earth. It was like nothing she had ever experienced, pure, unfiltered power, drawn from the very essence of human consciousness. And in that moment, she realized that this was what humanity had been meant to become all along. Not just a collection of individuals, but a unified force, capable of shaping the very fabric of reality. The Zulka ship was disintegrating, its alien technology no match for the raw energy of the galactic mind. Within minutes, the ship was gone, reduced to nothing more than particles of dust scattered across the sky, and just like that, the invasion was over. As the world returned to normal, the galactic mind slowly unraveled once more, leaving people to return to their individual lives. But Anna knew, as she stood in the quiet control room, that the world had changed forever. The power they had tapped into, the potential they had unlocked, it was only the beginning. Humanity had taken its first step toward a new form of evolution, one that transcended the physical, the technological. They had glimpsed the true potential of their collective consciousness, and there was no going back. Anna turned away from the screen, a faint smile tugging at the corners of her lips. The future stretched out before them, vast and infinite, like the stars themselves. And this time, humanity would not face it alone. They were the heart of the galaxy now.